Why the Nigerian state, not IPOB, made political solution to Nnamdi Kanu's case impossible? I know what triggered this statement. You know what triggered the statement? Nigeria government through their proxies. I am following them bomber to bomber. They made this statement yesterday after they failed. I repeat, after they failed to prosecute someone or to provide a kind of serious evidence against Simon Ekpa yesterday in court. Then they turn back through their proxies. One is a special advisor to Bianca Ono. Look at what they said in their secret meeting. That if they could not lay their hand to prosecute Simon Ekpa, then they are going to turn all the whole anger. Don't forget, they were disgraced out of courtroom yesterday in Finland. They vow that they are going to turn that anger and shame on the head of Nnamdi Kanu, because according to them, they said Nnamdi Kanu is the boss of Simon Ekpa. So they were telling them about political solution. They said, over their dead body, will we allow Nnamdi Kanu to go if we do not prosecute Simon Ekpa? The question there now is, what are they afraid of in the head of Simon Ekpa? Does it mean now they fear Simon Ekpa more than Nnamdi Kanu? Do not forget, my people, I made a comment some couple of months ago. I said that these people want to use one stone to kill two birds. In other words, to use Nnamdi Kanu's case against Simon Ekpa, and they use Simon Ekpa's case against Nnamdi Kanu. Now, in Simon Ekpa's case, it has backfired on them. Both the DSS, sorry, not DSS, the DOS witnesses they call, even including the one that said he's a pastor. Look at their names here. Look at their names here. Let it not be that I am saying it off head. Number one there is Isaac Carlo, DOS, William Wokedi, DOS, and the pastor Udochi, DOS. These are the people who ganged up through the Nigerian government because they are working as proxies. But the main people that represent this one, they are three in numbers: Musa, Bianca Ono, and the other one they call Petamba. This is what these three people represents. Each of them are being paid by these three people to go and testify against Simon Ekpa. Now, it don't backfire on their head. They want to now turn their anger and their shame on the head of Nnamdi Kanu, which they know. Judge this Nnamdi Kanu's case 100 years, 100 times, 1 million times. Nnamdi Kanu will still win them 1 million times. So what are we saying? Let us just read the news for reading's sake. But I can tell you for free of charge that these people have turned their shame as anger on the head of Nnamdi Kanu. But they should not forget, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Nigeria, before the end of Tinubu's regime in 2031, because that's what I'm saying, their debt, there's an external debt profile, will not be nothing less than 500 trillion naira. Those monies were being borrowed and shared. Those monies were being borrowed and said they are doing some infrastructure. Contractors will made away with the whole money. Not that they are not trying to beautify their country, but for the fact they are holding whom God loves so much, which is Nnamdi Kanu, they will never see progress. I have said it before and I repeat myself again. My word, or rather this word, can never fall on the ground. I am just the speaker, but the person who sent this word is the Almighty Chukwu Okeabiama, and it can never fall on the ground. As you are watching, please kindly drop your opinion at the comment section of this video. So we are using the sin of the father to a kind of tarnish the image of the son, or we are using the sin of the son and then they tarnish the image of the father. When they call Seyi Tinubu bad names, people distanced themselves and said they should not use their father's sin to equal that of Seyi Tinubu. But now you people are using Nnamdi Kanu sinned against Simon Ekpa, or rather Simon Ekpa sinned against Nnamdi Kanu, which we know that these people have never sinned in any way. Self-defense and self-determination is never a crime under United Nations law, which ZUU is a signatory to. Let us understand these facts before we make some ambiguous statements. Let us continue. The recent statement by the Foundation for Peace Professional, which is a Peace Pro, which accuses the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, of making any political solution to the prolonged detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu impossible, is not only misguided but intellectually dishonest. It conveniently ignores the structural violence, state-sponsored suppression, and historical injustice meted out to the people of Igbo people and others in the old eastern region, while placing blame solely on the claims of state brutality. Hey. Listen good. Let us begin by asking a fundamental question. Who abducted Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya in clear violation of international law and due process? Was it IPOB? The answer is no. Certainly not. It was the Nigerian government which carried out an extraordinary rendition, an illegal act that even the United Nations has condemned. How then can the same government be presented as an agent of peace and lawlessness, while IPOB, the aggrieved party, is now expected to bear the moral burden of restraint? Hey, let us continue. Peace Pro's assertion that militant rhetoric and misinformation from IPOB have made political resolution impossible is a classic case of blaming the oppressed for their resistance. Every people pushed to the wall will react in one way or the other. The Southeast has suffered systematic marginalization for decades, from lopsided federal appointments and exclusive from strategic national projects to military occupation of e-cities and the massacre of peaceful protesters. IPOB emerged as a response to this existential threat, not the cause. If Peace Pro claims to be a peace-building organization, then it must recognize that peace is not the absence of tension. Nnamdi Kanu, peace is not the absence of the tension, but the presence of justice. What justice has Nnamdi Kanu received? What justice have the families of slain IPOB members received? What justice has the Igbo nation received since the genocidal civil war ended in 1970? Has the government, or rather had the Nigerian government, ever offered truth, reconciliation? The answer is no. Or even an apology for the genocidal campaign waged against the Biafran people. Peace Pro boldly states that IPOB must surrender their militant campaign. But the real question is, when will the Nigerian state surrender its militarized approach to civil dissent? When will it stop invading towns in the east, burning down homes and killing young people under the guise of maintaining order? Who shall be held responsible for the mass graves in Olo, the bloody operations in Obigbo, and the continuous harassment of Easterners at military checkpoints? Let us not forget that it was not IPOB that shut down the Southeast with tanks and guns. It was the fear imposed by the Nigerian military and the climate of insecurity brewed by government negligence that forced people indoors, sit at home. Others were not enforced with official IPOB brigades. Rather, the government's inaction and the lack of political will to engage the region meaningfully created a vacuum that opportunists exploited. Yet, IPOB is painted as the sole villain in this complex equation. Peace Pro also claims that true power is not in secessionist flags or the sound of gunfire. Indeed, true power lies in dialogue, truth-telling, and justice. But where is the Nigerian state's willingness to engage honesty? Has President Bola Ahmed Tinubu or any key leader visited the southeast to hold open town halls or initiate genuine dialogue? Where is the political courage to call a spade to say that Nnamdi Kanu's detention following an illegal rendition is an affront to both Nigeria and international law? If a political solution is now said to be impossible, it is because the Nigerian government has refused to listen, refused to acknowledge historical grievances, and refused to embrace restorative justice. Peace Pro, if truly professional in its peace advocacy, should not serve as a public relation arm of the state by echoing propaganda that absorbs the real culprits. Whatever Nigerian government cannot do does not exist. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not on trial merely for his word. He is on trial because he dared to challenge a system built on injustice. His cause for self-determination reflects the aspirations of millions who have lost faith in the failed promises of one ZUU. If Nigeria is truly one, then why must only one region carry the scales of unity? Peace Pro ends his statement with the words, "Peace is not surrender. Peace is the most courageous decision any movement can make. On this, we agree, but peace must be just, honest, and mutual. You cannot ask a bleeding man to put away his bandages while his wounds are still open. If there is any group that must take responsibility for the impossibility of a political solution, it is the Nigerian state, its arrogance, its brutality, and its refusal to confront the truths that history has written in the blood of the Biafrans." Family Writers Press International. Another headline here, which is coming from what do they call him? Okay, this one is from Ohaneze Ndiberibe. He said, and I quote, "7 Igbo-speaking states won't join in planned June 12 protest," says Ohaneze. I don't know whether these people, in fact, I know they are against us. Not for me to say I don't know. They are against us, and they keep on making it clear to everybody that we are not with these people and we can never be with them. Anyway, let us proceed. The Apex Igbo Social and Cultural Organization, Ohaneze Ndafonse, on Sunday sounded it very clear that 7 Igbo-speaking states will not participate in the proposed June 12 Democracy Day nationwide protest. In a statement which the Guardian obtained a copy in Abakaliki, the National Deputy President of the Ohaneze faction, Mazi Okechukwu Isiguzoro, explained that the decision is not to withdraw from civic responsibility, but rather a strategic response aimed at safeguarding Igbo lives and properties across Nigeria, which Igbo's properties are always targeted each time such protest occurs. Isiguzoro further asserted that even if such gatherings will be permitted across the 7 Igbo-speaking states, the fundamental issues concerning the Igbo must be addressed adequately by the Nigerian government. He added that the prevailing insecurity in the southeast renders any form of protest imprudently hazardous, maintaining that the Igbo nation shall not participate in any national protest until our pressing demands are duly recognized and acted upon. The statement read, "In the light of extensive consultations with the key Igbo stakeholders, Ohaneze Ndafonse hereby announces a decisive and unequivocal stance regarding the upcoming June 12 Democratic Day protest. This decision is not a withdrawal from civic responsibility, but rather a strategic response aimed at safeguarding Igbo lives and properties across ZUU, particularly within the southeast region. We proclaim that the Igbo people will refrain from participating in these protests and assert that no gatherings will be permitted across the 7 Igbo-speaking states. until the fundamental issues concerning the Igbos are addressed adequately by the so-called Nigerian government. Our historical involvement in national protests left us with bitter memories marred by betrayal and violence. And over the last 65 good years since Nigeria's independence, evidence has shown that during previous protests against government actions, Igbos have been unjustly demonized and treated as scapegoats, resulting in tragic consequences. Moreover, the prevailing insecurity in the southeast renders any form of protest imprudently hazardous. It is crucial to emphasize that the Igbo nation shall not participate in whatever they may call it. Most critically, the immediate release of all Igbo prisoners of conscience unjustly detained in various prisons, and notably among those is MSE Nnamdi along with others. The Fulani government has demonstrated selective justice by dismissing felony charges against certain individuals, while our own brothers remain imprisoned without just cause. This double standard cannot continue. We cannot. Ohaneze Ndajuraju feels compelled to convey a sobering truth to Mr. President, not to misinterpret our non-involvement in national protests as a sign of weakness. We recognize the precarious state of democracy in Nigeria, and while June 12 serves as a reminder of our collective struggle for democratic governance, the Igbo remain resolute in the face of adversity. This and other headlines is what we brought to you this morning, and I'm very sure that these messages and the headline, the points that have been enlisted on this message, are able to convince you, but not to confuse you, that Igbo have nothing to do with Nigerian government and their protest. Nigerian government came out and told us that we should not celebrate 30th of May, our heroes and heroines day. But now they want to celebrate June 12 for common Abiola of yesterday. Can't you see that it is either their brain is congealed or they have empty medulla oblongata? That is the simple truth. And nobody is going to tell me that all Nigerian leaders, including those ones who believe in one Nigeria, will tell me that their brains are intact, my brother. No. In short, we're supposed to be any day we wake up in the morning, we ask Nigeria how market, because their market is unstable. Their brain is unstable. Everything about them is unstable. Anyway, my people, I beg, let us just end it here. More of the videos is coming your way. Just make sure you like, share, comment, and keep subscribing for more interesting videos. Please, kindly drop your opinion in the comment section. I would like to read from you. Have a nice day. KPAI, my people. I love you all.